Hey everyone, and welcome to Signals from the Frontline, your every Wednesday live broadcast brought to you by Frontline Gaming. We are your hosts, Kicker, the chief of Serial, and Sigilite of FLG.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And I'm Seth, the Mad Doc, your competitive correspondent. Kicker, how have you been doing, brother?
Okay, so honestly, guys, I'm really sad to say this. I won't be able to make it to the Austin GW event. It makes me extremely sad. I've been painting like crazy. Richard, our producer, can you pull up that beautiful hobby progress? I've been staying up every night till basically midnight painting these beautiful minis. We got an orc kill rig there. Is that just not gorgeous? So it's beautiful, right? Come on, give me a close up of the war boy there, right? It's just beautiful, right? Oh, beautiful, beautiful army. I love it. It's been a real passion project, and I'm really upset that I can't go and show it off this weekend. But unfortunately, I'm a father, and sometimes daddy duty calls. It's called parenting, I guess. My kid's sick, so I got to stay home and and watch him.
I don't have any of those.
You don't have any of those. You don't have that. You've got like a fur baby and a feather baby, right? Do you call it?
Yeah,
call a bird a feather baby? Is that a thing?
I don't really call them that, but sure. I have dogs and a cat, or dogs and a bird.
All right.
You know.
But I do have some good news, or at least something that made me extremely excited, was this new Halo series that got announced. I don't know about you, Seth, but I grew up playing Halo. Like that was my video game, right? I mean, through high school, that's all I did. Halo LAN parties, right? I was one of those cool kids. We didn't have a graduation party. We just all got together and played a Halo LAN party, all 16 guys. We thought we were the coolest.
I did StarCraft LAN parties.
StarCraft. All right, there we go. Boom. Well, to have a live action Halo series, I think it's a series, is just going to be amazing. So that made my day. And dude, the Obi-Wan series on Disney has been, more info has been leaked on that. So, I know it's not really 40K related, but come on, sci-fi is sci-fi. What about you, dude? You were busy this weekend, weren't you?
Yeah, I went to Warzone Atlanta and played 8 rounds of 40K, and I may have only won 3 of those with the freebooters.
I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you.
I did not do very well, but it was still a fantastic time. I had a great time hanging out and seeing everyone. Warzone, is always a big party, so it was a good time. But now that has freed me up so that I can go back to my janky orc combat build. So I've been working on kill rigs and Squid Hog boys, just building. I got a lot of building to do right now. So that's what I've been up to. And if we're talking other, content, I do believe the Wheel of Time series is supposed to premiere this weekend, which I'm super pumped for. And they just released the full trailer for what was it? Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, don't hate me, but I'm kind of over Spider-Man. Like I've had enough of
you.
Him.
Shut your mouth.
Oh yeah, geez, man. All right, yes, sir. I mean, it just come on, like
all right. I get it. I was not a fan of the Andrew Garfield universe, but I really have liked the Tom Holland ones.
All right.
So I've enjoyed his films. So all right, whatever. Okay. Well, anyway, Kicker, industry news. Save this conversation.
Boom. All right, guys. Nothing too crazy this week. We do have the official announcement that the Gene Stealer Cult and Custodes box, whatever you want to call it, that is coming out December. It's going to be that wonderful, dual army kit. Woohoo! I'm excited for that. But what's kind of interesting, depressing, sad, I don't know, it's just news, is that GW is basically, they've admitted, they've been very clear about it, that the codex themselves won't be getting released till 2022. So it's going to be another one of those things where you can get the, the early access right then and there, get the cool new minis, get the initial bug, but everyone else.
So are we saying that the plan of generation in the making needs one more generation?
Ooh, yes. Well said. Thank you. So I'm not happy with this, and I know a lot of people are not happy with this because they want their codex immediately.
Yeah.
And we can go off on a tangent about that, but we've got a lot of other things to talk about today. So let's just keep it moving along. We do know that if you go to a GW store right now, so an actual Warhammer / GW store, some of them are still being rebranded. They're all supposed to be Warhammer stores, but a few ones still have the old Games Workshop logo. Yeah. You go in there, you can get a cool free magazine, absolutely free. It's extremely childish, but I get so excited when I get free stuff, and it's a legit magazine, dude. There's like 30-40 pages of content in there. Yeah. Have you seen it yet?
I have not, because there's no GW store anywhere near me.
Oh, shame. Well, definitely pick one up if you have the opportunity. It's just fun, free stuff, something to watch while you're taking a dump. I don't know. There you go. That's when all the good reading.
We don't need that visual. So Kicker don't need that study codexes in his small private bathroom.
What's a magazine? Magazines are basically designed to be read while you're in the bathroom.
All right. So in review, anyone going to an event, do not borrow any of Kicker's books or magazines. Got it?
Yeah,
All
don't do
right.
that. The Blood Bowl, I guess rollout has continued on with this new edition. I'm just calling it the Dungeon Edition. It's a little
Mhm.
different than the traditional Blood Bowl series, but I know people are excited about it because people that play Blood Bowl are fanatical about Blood Bowl, and to have this kind of new format here is exciting. Seth, I've never played Blood Bowl. I can't speak to Blood Bowl, but it's just another new release, which
My
is
my
exciting for
only
many people.
experience with Blood Bowl was the computer game, and it was very
Oh yeah,
frustrating.
yeah.
And but I know it has a devout following,
Oh, dude,
almost
yeah.
as devout as Battlefleet Gothic.
Jeez,
Almost.
yes, yes, yeah.
Um,
Oh, and hey, book wise,
mhm.
the Black Library's released this Gobbo book. It's basically a book all about the Grot Revolution, I
The
guess, the Red Gobbo.
Gobbo's Revenge.
Yeah, and it the cover is kinda childish, but I kinda gotta read this because I've been listening to,
Oh yeah.
Brutal But Cunning right now, and it's extremely enjoyable. I think the voices I know that they're trying to get all thematic with the orc voices and the orc talk. I
Mhm.
kinda hate that part of it, but I like the content, I like the storyline. I think the
Yeah.
the voices are a little too goofy for me. I'm sure you, Seth, as an orc player, can appreciate the attempt to mimic the sound of an orc, but it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Um, let's jump in really fast to the exciting stuff. The Black Friday sale for Frontline Gaming is official,
Ooh.
25% off. It's legit. It's
Is it
25% off
off
basically everything.
everything?
Yeah,
Basically.
basically everything. All the mats, all the terrain. But the really, really spicy stuff is the brand new, fully painted Frontline Gaming terrain that is actually 25% off too. We've only got one set. You can see right here
Yep.
if you're watching live, you can see the ruined terrain set. That's our number one selling set, and that's the only one available right now during the Black Friday sale in full color. In the beginning of 2022, we'll probably be rolling out a different set each month.
Right.
So if you have a favorite set like the Orc set, which is a
Mhm, mhm,
crowd
mhm,
flavor, or a Tau
mhm.
set or whatever, those will all be coming in beautiful full color through 2022.
All right. Now,
Yeah,
this is an important point on the
shoot.
terrain that I am shaming you, kicker,
Yes,
because you are a marketing person, and I don't
yes,
think this was marketed well. And I had to reach out to the big Papa Emperor
yeah,
Reese himself
Mr.
to
Reese.
confirm this. If we zoom in on the terrain, I don't know if we actually have that picture available, but comparing this ruin set to the original ruin set, the stained glass windows that were added to the set are fully line of sight blocking.
Yes, they are.
So you can't see, like, if you put, like, a unit of 5 guys in the corner, you can't see through them now.
Nope.
And importantly, in talking to Reese, I confirmed, like, hey, this is what I'm looking at in these pictures. Is that right? And he's like, yeah, we created an additional piece of I'm
Yeah,
assuming it's still
MDF.
on
But yeah,
MDF, but basically an extra kit of MDF for these pieces where you can glue windows onto them, and
wow.
block them, and they are optional, so you can
Yeah,
choose to put
it's
them on or
modular.
not,
Yeah,
depending on however you want to build it up yourself. So I thought that was really exciting that they've kind of updated the terrain to make it a little bit more compatible with ninth edition, because
exactly.
bottom floors being just open right now in ninth edition is really hard to deal with. So I was really excited to see that. So I'm excited to see what comes out of the rest of the terrain set.
Yeah,
Um,
and we
I
have that new.
really wanted to pull the trigger on buying a set of this terrain kicker,
Well,
but
it's
I know
never
the
going to be
orc
on
stuff is
sale like
coming.
this.
I
Yeah,
know
we're
it's
gonna have the
coming.
orc set that will not be on sale. That'll be on
Okay.
the full price. Now, the photos of this stuff just don't do it justice, right? We were
Oh
just
yeah.
so excited to roll this out. Like literally, we just got the machinery in last week. We're like, okay, let's make a batch. Let's see how it comes out. So yeah, we'll be taking the orders up through Black Friday, and then they'll be shipping slowly after or shortly after. But yeah, no, the train is gorgeous. We need to get some close ups of
Yeah.
this because it is like it's just beautiful. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't say it enough. It's better
Yeah.
than the painted stuff that we hand paint. So, yeah, guys, I want to tell you a little bit more. We got a lot of emails that came in. A lot of people messaged me directly about this Vanguard Tactics LVO workshop that we announced 2 weeks ago. This is big for us. So this is the Thursday night before the LVO. There's going to be a workshop taught by Stephen Box of Vanguard Tactics in the 40K Champs Hall. It's going to be a private class with just a few people, so limited tickets. I'm just going to read a little blurb to give people a little bit more information because people have been kind of bombarding us like, we want to know more, we want to know more. Tickets will be going on sale ideally before Wednesday of next week. So I want to go Tuesday if we can. And when they're
Mhm.
sold out, they're sold out. The starting price is going to be $150, and that's for the full workshop. There's going to be a couple other tiers that include more stuff. Frontline Gaming is making a really cool limited edition army tray and mat for that. There's a Steven's got a lot of really cool like Vanguard Tactics stuff that's coming with it. And then if you go to one of the more premium tier tickets, you get additional coaching before, after, during the event as well. So anyway, all those details will be on the ticket page next week. The workshop will be split into different lessons. Those lessons will be a mixture of theory and practical drills using the LVO terrain layouts at the table. You will be taught and shown what to do in theory, in the theory part of the lesson. Then you will be head over to the tables with your allocated work buddy to play through the drills at the table while the coaches circulate and assist you to ensure you can implement everything that has just been taught. And so that you're ready for the day of play the next day. The end of the session will be rounded off with the Q&A. The end of the session will be rounded off with Q&A with Steven and his team. He's bringing in several coaches. And you can basically get any last-minute questions answered right then and there and prepare yourself for the LVO. There's also going to be a private, I was talking to Steven today, there's going to be a private Discord that's going to go live 3 weeks before the event.
Ooh,
So
really
if you
cool.
are a student, you get to jump into this Discord. You can show off your list. You guys can start talking about them. And also you'll meet all the other students too. So that when you do show up at the LVO, you'll already have your little group of friends and you can all hang out and have fun. So yeah, Mr. Steambox has also offered to donate a full year of classes as one of the prizes that we're going to be giving away to the during the 40K chats. Yeah, full year. Yeah, right. It's like $600. And this is probably going to go for the person that needs the most improvement or the wooden spoon award, because I don't think somebody like John Lennon or Sean Naden necessarily would want to get coached. So yeah, that's the big deal for us though, because this is something we've not
maybe
done
they
before.
want to be coached and they can steal his secrets.
Oh, there we go. They want to steal the secrets,
competitive
right?
advantage,
but
come on to your Art of War, guys.
Right, the Art of Wars. No, Seth, like the hype for this is real. Since we announced this, my inbox had just gotten bombarded. So we're trying to get these tickets live and then have all the information on the ticket page so that people can just go and read it instead of try and call me. Yeah. Seth, have you been
Everyone
using my
call
cell
Kicker
phone?
in the middle of the night. He definitely is not having trouble sleeping right now with a sick child at home.
Yeah, exactly.
He loves to answer emails at 1 a.m.
Of course, I all the time. I think we have an ad coming up right now, right? We have to jump to this little
Yep.
cut, right? Yeah, let's do it. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Stephen here from Vanguard Tactics, and it's my absolute pleasure to announce this Vanguard Tactics signature in-person workshop, which we're going to be running at the Las Vegas Open in conjunction with the Frontline gaming team. Now, this workshop that we've put together is all about helping you feel more confident at the table. Going to your first event is one thing, but attending the LVO and a super major can be another. And this workshop, what we're going to be doing is breaking down absolutely everything that you need to do in order to be successful. And the goal of this is so that you're going to feel comfortable to play anybody, anytime, anywhere, against any faction. And also these skills that you're going to learn on this day, you can then put into place as soon as you get home from the LVO, whether you're playing pickup games or other tournaments. Now this is really exclusive and also unique experience that you're going to have. We're actually going to be playing in the Las Vegas Hall. We're also going to be playing on the tables, and all the lessons, the deployment tactics, the strategies, the developing a mission plan and game plan is all going to be done on the actual tables that you're going to be playing on. So again, a very unique experience. So actually when you get to the table and you meet your first opponent, you're going to understand exactly what you have to do for the mission. You're going to know how to deploy your army. You're going to also know how to execute a plan. You're going to know already what you need to be asking your opponent so you can feel really comfortable when you get there. The whole point of this is to feel calm and collected. So again, I just want to say a huge thank you for Frontline Gaming team for having me and putting this on with me. So if you'd like to sign up for this workshop, then I'd absolutely love to see you there. Spaces are limited, and if you do, then check out the links either above or below, and I'll see you at the Las Vegas Open.
All right, so that was our little plug from Steven over from Vanguard Tactics, just kind of giving you guys a bit more about what's going on. But let's get into the FLGN news. So Game Changers, the lovely Steve Joel, interviewed Manny Chima this week, which is quite entertaining. So go give that a listen. Those two have a good time about it. And our brothers, our younger, less privileged brothers over at Grim After Dark, they did have Adrian on from Tabletop Titans. Now, this is important for everyone at home. They were very excited by their viewership last night. It was a very large crowd that came over to view them. But we suspect that it was not Adrian that drew the crowd, but instead our lovely producer over here on Signals
Mhm.
hopped over to help them last night, and that's probably what pushed the
I mean,
crowd.
he's got such a loyal following that will follow him from show to show.
Clearly, it is Richard. Don't forget to
Thank you,
check out
Richard.
Chapter Tactics this week. And you might be wondering, why did Richard have to fill in for Val? Usually Val's the man behind the scenes over at Grim After Dark. Well, that's because Val is getting ready to run the GW stream this weekend in Austin. And I said Austin correctly.
Yes,
all
you
week
did.
long I've been calling it wrong, saying it's New Orleans, but I got it right. So go check out the GW stream this weekend at Austin, and make sure to tell Val you appreciate all this hard work, because it's probably taking years off his life doing this.
Hey, Seth. I know that I can't make it, but can you give us a quick rundown about the competitive world that we're facing this weekend?
I can try.
You can
So, this weekend was a bit of a mixed bag with the new FAQ coming out. So some events did adopt it, some didn't. But interestingly, it seems that Gray Knights have kind of moved up to the top dog in terms of win percentages, up to 53%. They were 60% previously, so that was a drop for them, but that still is the highest Army win percentage from last weekend. And then the big scary three, the Drukhari, the Orcs, and the Admechs, they all saw a drop in their win rate, with Drukhari going from 59% down to 49%. Orcs going from 56 to 52, and the dreaded Admech getting the heaviest of nerf bats, going from 63 down to 51%.
Dang.
So
yeah.
Overall, those are pretty good initial numbers. Most armies hovering in the mid 50s is a good place to be. Whether that number will stay like that, I don't know, because I certainly know some Drukhari guys that are already teching into some different builds to take advantage of some different aspects of that army. So we could see those win percentages start to creep back up as the Admech, Orc, and Drukhari players re-optimize their lists. They might not have had enough time to figure it out. Kicker, did you see the announcement from the WTC today?
No.
That's what I'm here for, folks. So the WTC,
I only focus on Frontline gaming stuff. Come on, man.
Well, that's what I'm here for, is to look at everything else. So the WTC put out a statement today, and you can go check it out on all their social media. I'm not going to read it verbatim here because it's like 27 pages long, I feel like. But the gist of it is based off of some of concerns that occurred recently at the Coventry GT with some players getting red carded for cheating and fairly obvious manners. They have gone ahead and preemptively banned a number of players from participating in WTC events.
Wow.
So that was a pretty strong stance from them. They did not name who they banned, but it was interesting that they did say, hey, we are aware that there are some bad apples in the community that historically have shown that they are not going to change their ways. So these members will not be allowed to participate in arguably one of the biggest events in the world, and at least the biggest team event in the world, certainly. So that was very interesting for them to make that decision. I support that idea. They said they reached out to team captains to let them know, like, hey, this guy's in your country and he can't play, so don't bank on him playing. So I'm not sure how much of the field we'll see change out there, but that was an interesting announcement coming out of them today.
Such a touchy subject.
Yeah. So let's get into our ITC recap, starting off with our competitive track. Not a lot of movement here this weekend. So we still have good old man Brad Chester himself hanging in at number one. Number two, with the loveliest hair in 40K, Sean Naden. Number three, the dethroned boy king, now Joffrey, John Lennon. He continues to hold strong. Now, in our UK invasion continues with Manny Chima at 4 and Malik Rubio at 5. Hopping on down to the old 40K hobby track, we have JT Steger at number 1, Lee Harris at number 2, my beloved Orc brethren Jacob Thayer in number 3, Scott Boucher in number 4, and Noah Bedom in number 5. Moving on down to the AOS competitive track, we have had some motion here. With Gavin Greigar being our number 1, Caleb Walters is our number 2, James O'Brien is our number 3. The long reigning Anthony Trentonality is now down to 4, and Jordan Duncan slides into the 5th place slot. And in our hobby track, we've also had a little bit of motion here as well. Nick Garcia is number 1. Ian Wood is number 2. Christopher Hernandez is number 3. Derek Page is number 4. And Noe Aquino, or Noah Aquino, however you pronounce that, is number 5. And last but not least is our kill team rankings. And we've had some movement here as well. Fernando Marcos is our number 1 with Daniel Marcos number 2. The Marcos clan, again, dominating the top 2 spots.
They've gotta be
Lazarus
brothers,
sliding
man.
into, I hope they're brothers. Maybe
Yeah.
they're father and son. You don't know.
Father and son. All right.
Lazarus number 3, Ryu Wilfong number 4, and our new challenger, Carlos Duran, coming in the 5th place slot.
All right.
Yeah. So with that out of the way, it is time for us to bring in our guest. Tonight, we have Rob Baer on, and we're bringing Rob on specifically to kind of talk about some alternative tournament formats. I played at Warzone Atlanta this weekend that had an alternative format. Rob and the rest of the guys over at the Long War, they run a doubles event at a lot of the different FLG events, so he's here to explain that. If you don't know who Rob Baer is, he is the editor of Spiky Bits, the long-term purveyor of the Long Wars. So let's bring him on.
Yeah, let's bring him in. Hey,
Rob. Thanks for having
everybody.
us, man.
It's great to be here.
So Rob, I first question, because this is kind of a requirement for any guest on the show.
Sorry, I forget.
Yeah, so I got to. You can take a drink, Seth. I'll take this. Rob, what is your favorite sugary breakfast cereal?
Oh, you're not gonna like my answer.
No, you got to give it, man. You got to. Don't say oatmeal, because else we're just gonna unplug you immediately.
So I'm afflicted with with the glutens.
Oh no,
I can't eat cereal.
There's no cereal, nothing.
I have heard that Fruity Pebbles is gluten free, and I enjoyed Fruity Pebbles as a child. So I would have to say that if I was to eat a sugary cereal in the morning, it would be Fruity Pebbles.
All right. I can. I'm sorry. No one's ever told me that they've basically can't eat cereal. I don't know how you live, but apparently,
Kicker has cereal for 7 meals a day. It's quite impressive, really.
I mean, jeez. Well, moving right along, Rob. So there's a lot of different formats out there.
Yeah.
The Long War doubles, we had to bring you in because for LVO, we've been running the Long War doubles on the Sunday after during the finals of the champs, and I was floored to see that this thing sold out quickly. We had to actually go in and add more tickets because it's apparently you've got a very loyal following of players, and I have never played in a team or a doubles event ever, and the Long War doubles is like a legitimately unique format that I don't know. Do you want to take credit for? Is this your baby? Did you create this? Is this a team effort with you and Wyatt? Who created this? And maybe you can explain a little bit more about the Long War doubles.
I would say, I don't know if anybody creates anything anymore. I think it's just we all just kind of pull it out of the collective ether. But
all right.
It was kind of born a lot from kind of some of the other team tournaments out there, and just wanting to have an easy access way for a lot of folks that maybe would feel uncomfortable in a tournament setting to still come out and play, because they'd be paired up with one of their buds that maybe is a little bit more competitive or a little bit more versed in the tournament scene. And then they feel comfortable. It's kind of like the buddy system.
Who is your exit buddy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kicker and I exercised the buddy system in New Orleans, and it failed on a few occasions.
Well, we get, but that's okay. Well, no, buddy system is great though. I didn't think about that at all. That going to a tournament with basically a more experienced player will make it way more comfortable, and they might already have their friends there. Yeah, no, because it is a little intimidating going to a big event and not knowing anyone.
Yeah. It kind of is, and we always say, hey, come out to the event. If you're listening, you're already friends with us. At least stop by if you're not going to play and say hi. And sometimes we crowdsource help with the pain scores, because it's a lot of people to judge in that hour break. But
so the painting score. So just walk us through it. So it's obviously a doubles event. So it's two players. So the painting score, is that a separate score? Or is that part of your overall score, or how does that work?
So I think we slid it. I think it's 3-1 with emphasis on the hobby and the composition as you're rated by your opponents.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So it actually kind of pays to not be as competitive as possible at this thing. And the battle score is basically the last component of it, right? Yeah. It's more about hobby, having fun, and just really bringing out some dope armies. There's bonus points for bringing gifts for your opponents, buying judges drinks.
Wait! You actually get points for buying judges' drinks? Is that?
I think it's a point if you buy the judge a drink. Yes.
Okay. So you get gifts.
I participated in 2020 that year, and my roommate and I that went, we did not read the full packet, and we got there, and our opponent's like, "Here's your gift," and we were like, "Oh, what?" So we got caught off guard, but we still had a blast, man. So
Wait,
yeah,
Seth,
people
what did they
definitely
give?
go all out for this.
Seth, what was the gift? Like, what was actually given during? I'm curious because I mean, gifts are kind of cool. I like to give people like a dice if I've got like one of my custom die. Like, what
I mean,
what
yeah,
were you
people have
given?
done dice. I think we had, I think the guys gave us beer koozies.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
I've
but
seen
people do all kinds of different stuff.
T-shirts, and actually having club T-shirts or team T-shirts themed, or even being in full like cosplay, like kind of gear. There's points for that.
Wow.
Gift bags.
Yeah.
So
Haspel
people-
like made whole like wolf tooth necklaces for people, you know, in the past when we did Adepticons, and it's just a blast.
No, that's cool. That's cool. So basically, you're 1/3 of the point the scoring rubric is the actual game. The rest of it is your sportsmanship, I guess. The painting, the appearance. Cool. I like it.
I don't even have a sportsman, like the social aspect of it. Like it's, sportsmanship sounds more like, all right, I didn't, just call Kicker a dick on the table when he shot my unit. Like, it's,
Yeah, there's a little
almost bigger than
checklist,
that.
and
Yeah.
it's pretty above board. Like we haven't had any real problems. We've had one person we've had to politely just be like, "Hey, don't come back."
So
all
do you have
all
any?
right, look, I'm right here, Rob. Jesus.
Yeah, it was that guy.
Didn't bring a gift. I know. All right.
Next time.
I got you.
So I mean, I guess is this a lot of work on your end being a TO and like the head judge of it? Because it seems like there's a lot of paperwork to run an event like
There
this.
is.
So that's kind of the barrier. Because I'm wondering why I haven't seen more of these. Because like I said, the results speak for themselves. This event's extremely popular. I mean, this is one of the few events that has sold out. So like, why aren't there not more of these? And it must be the barrier to entry, right? I mean, it just got that it's hard for people to run an event like this, because I'm assuming, is it just you and Wyatt running this, or do you have like extra judges helping you? Because you were saying that the painting is an issue, right? To judge that many armies in one day. Yeah,
you gotta hustle. Like there's been times where it was I think the first maybe year that we did it, it was just me running around doing it, the paint judging in like an hour. Like I was like, we can't do that again. And then, so I think me and Wyatt at this next event will be not LVO, will be the main, like organizers. And then of course, we'll probably put the word out, hey, if you're coming, you want to help us like paint judge, oh, that'd be great. And we'll figure, we have the schedule in the packet when the lunch break is, and that's a huge help. But yeah, it's a lot of work. But to be honest, like we kind of co-opt with events such as yourself to run them. So, basically we just kind of show up, and you guys already have the terrain out.
Yeah, the tables,
you guys have the tables. Yeah. We're just kind of like helping kind of support your event and giving people something to do. On that day, it's it works out great on Sunday, because sometimes people might not still be playing in the singles.
Only 8 people get to play in the finals of the champs. We have 1,200 people playing in the 40K champs. So only 8 of those people are going to actually have something they have to do on Sunday. So it makes sense, and I guess it's a nice way to transition from like cutthroat competitive to something fun and gift giving. I guess like it just seems like a great way to switch it out. So it is confirmed. We've got you guys at LVO. There are a few more tickets left at the LVO. Long War doubles, and now Cherokee, which is our newest event that was announced, that's going to be happening in February in North Carolina in Cherokee on the reservation.
Can I hop in for two things here? One, chat. I am keeping an eye on what you guys say, so if you have any questions, throw them in, and we'll get to them at the end. But do we have the second thing is, Kicker? Do we have the official dates yet for Cherokee?
Yeah, Cherokee is February 25th through 27th. So that's
I've gotten that question on the side from a few people already, so and I couldn't find it anywhere published. So 25th through the 27th, folks.
Yeah, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday will be the finals for the 40K champs, and then the Long War doubles for everyone else. If you do get into the 40K finals, you're one of those top 8, we will refund your Long War doubles ticket. So you can sign up for both. That'll be a full refund. But yeah, no, the idea is that we want everyone to come up to Cherokee, have a lot of fun, and then get to play on Sunday, play this fun format. This is your home turf too, Rob. I mean, I know it's a full state. It's like a couple hours away from you, but still, it's your home turf, right?
Next door to him.
It's next door.
It's
That
right
is
next door. I wish there was a casino right next door to me.
right. You'd probably be in trouble.
Poor
So that's
financial decisions.
one format. Seth, you were just at Atlanta for a totally different format, the Warzone
Yeah.
Atlanta format. That's like a Southeastern specialty, right? Because I don't know the Warzone Atlanta format has really the Warzone format's really.
Well, so they did a very different format this year than they did in previous years,
Okay,
and
shoot.
it was an interesting one. So they kind of had the issue of they usually are getting they're getting enough players now that they normally a 5-round event. 5 rounds was not enough to get to an single undefeated champion. So they needed to add more rounds. They couldn't get the Monday afterwards. They didn't want to move the start of the event to the Friday because it's always been a Saturday, Sunday event. So a lot of folks, they thought they might not be able to get them to move that, time off to Friday. So they decided to run a separate event on Friday for just the people that wanted to compete for best general.
Yeah.
So just the people that were there, we called it the Shark Tank, that were trying to win it all.
Yeah.
The results of that event fed into the main event that started Saturday. So if you went 3-0 on Friday, you would only play people that were already 3-0 starting Saturday. So you continue to play more top level players. And the Friday event did not affect your paint score, did not affect your standing for sportsmanship, and it did not affect your where your overall score ended up being. Because they do score those as well. So it was interesting to front load a lot of those kind of matchups, and it basically meant that the top players did not have an easy path. They were playing nothing but skilled players from the start, and unfortunately, sometimes when you get to these really large events, it might be 3-4 rounds before someone of a Brad Chester or a Sean Naden quality run up against another top tier competitor. So it was really interesting to see how that panned out. I don't know if they're going to do it again next year. I don't know if it's the best format, but it was interesting because it made for a really hard win path for some of those players to get through.
Yeah, Rob, you've been in this world probably longer than Seth and I in terms of the industry. I mean, you've obviously you got your hands on the pulse of the community. Is there a format that you've seen that has changed over the years that has been the one? Was there a format I know at one point it was just RTTs, but have they always been kind of this way, or have they kind of morphed over the years to become what Frontline Gaming's running or what GW is running now?
So yeah, it started as an RTT, and then GW kind of rolled out the GT kind of thing as the super competitive kind of tournament experience in the late 90s.
Was that their Games Day format, or was that something?
Yeah, and then they started mixing. Then Games Day started just to kind of be a general tournament in general. It was more about the whole event and just celebrating the Warhammer hobby and everything, and those were great. If you've never been to one, hopefully they bring them back. I think they said they were bringing them back.
Cool.
But I think there was different formats back when we had Apocalypse. There was Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And some places you'd have an Apocalypse tournament, then you have a singles tournament, then you have a team tournament, and if you played on all three, that was the Iron Man. That was 11 games of 40K over a weekend across.
And Apocalypse games are not short games.
No.
Well, they were because you had all those templates and D weapons and things.
Oh God, yes.
The pie plate things. Yeah.
So they lasted about the same. When it was 1-on-1, it lasted about the same time as a 40K game, normal. 2,000 point, 1,500 point, whatever. And then a lot of events they just do. They just do cool stuff like Warzone Atlanta did, or you guys come up with new stuff all the time, and so it's just really cool to see all the formats and things that are happening. Everywhere, really.
GW's been rolling out their format, which is definitely not the same as what Frontline Gaming's done. I think that they take a page because obviously Mike's involved from the Nova format with their day 3. Everyone still gets to play kind of brackets. I personally really enjoy that format. I mean, I take Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off to go play. I'm glad I got to go play Sunday with people that were more of my my level, my skill level, which is very, very low. And I kind of like that. I mean, but Rob, do you think that 6 rounds is enough, or do you think people have the gas in the tank to go a full 8-9 rounds in one weekend? The average player, obviously the pros, they can go all nonstop. But what's your thoughts on the average player? Do you think 2 days, 6 rounds is enough, or do you think we need to add a third day of play for everyone?
Well, I guess really it just comes down to polling people and what they prefer. But that's now you got to start talking about endurance, you're on cement floors, you might be missing a meal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta stay hydrated. It's an endurance challenge at that point. When you start playing all that. So definitely want to definitely want to be up for it.
Seth, are you seeing anything in the chat or anyone talking about different formats that they like? I mean, I know Seth, you've done a few 3 days of combat.
Yeah.
How do you feel about all that?
It's definitely in kind of a little peek behind the curtain. Kicker and I are trying to get the Stephen Box on because it does take a physical toll on you being at 3 days of gaming, particularly when you're a very tall man like myself and the tables are at like knee height for you and you're like,
You're back.
cool, I'll just die now, thanks. So it's definitely something that you have to consider some physical fitness. It's definitely something that you have to like make sure you eat right because you get an upset stomach. I may or may not have like mid turn one looked at one of my opponents this weekend. I was like, look, man, I had spicy ramen for dinner. Put the clock on me. I'll be back.
Yeah,
I just ran.
I have shown up in my younger years. I have showed up at a few events. Probably not completely sober in the morning. And that is a terrible choice as well.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. So what you're saying is don't host a beer hammer event on Thursday.
Yeah.
Before the main event Friday.
Not gonna happen. Well, okay.
Be rough.
So some of the other events do have like weird mini games. So I was looking at Star Wars Legion because they've been really growing in all the Frontline gaming events. I mean, Star Wars Legion has become a staple now for us. They do like these miniature like side games on Friday, which are just kind of like to pump you up for the main event, which is kind of cool. So it's like prep work or practice if you want. X-Wing does heats, which is really weird. So you'll play Heat 1 on Friday, Heat 2 on Saturday, and then the top players play on Sunday, which is a whole nother format, which is like, oh geez, I don't know if I would like that, because if you play in Heat 1, like basically just 1 day of play, which I guess is fine, but if you're flying out,
the games are smaller. Or the games are smaller. The times are it's basically half the time of a 40K.
Yeah.
What do y'all do? 2.5?
Yeah. And I mean, it's I think it's like 2.5. It's like definitely less than 2.5 hours. I mean, I think
it's 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's they move fast, and also they take up basically no space, which is really convenient for us. But the idea of doing heats is kind of cool because we can have a bigger event, right? So we can have 100 people one day, 100 people another day. Suddenly now you have a 200 person event basically.
Yeah, but only needed tables for 100.
Exactly. Yeah. So logistically, it's good for us, but I'm always wondering about the player experience.
Yeah. So Kicker, you had mentioned that they did like Star Wars Legions as a side event, and I wanted to ask Rob, have you ever done a night joust?
Ooh.
I haven't played in one, no. But it sounds fun.
Yeah, I've heard about them, but I've never played in one. But that I've seen a lot of people do those as a side event on like the night before the main event. And most of the formats I've heard is like, all right, everyone lines, you split the group into two groups and they fight, and then whichever team is left standing, that entire team gets cut in half and goes again and again until you're down to like one standing knight.
Yeah, it's really popular. We've been doing it at LVO a lot. So we have a new guy running, a new TO running it for us, but it's the same format we've always done. And it's basically bring any one of your Titanic units from whatever army. I think there's like some NIDS equivalent. I don't play Tyranids, but there's somebody who's already asked about it and it's been allowed in. There's going to be Stompas, Seth, for you, and of course Chaos and Imperium Knights. Yeah, it's a fun format and just another fun mini game before the real tournament kicks off. Especially because people come to something like LVO, they're there to hang out all day long and all night long, so we want to keep them those options. But Seth, do you have anything else you want to talk about the formats? Rob, anything else that's on top of your mind? Any recommendations as we roll into 2022? Any thoughts that we could?
That includes you, chat,
or chat, of course.
Are you guys having a Marvel Crisis Protocol event at
yeah, okay, so
Cherokee?
Okay, so I'm trying to get one at Cherokee. I know we've been discussing on the back.
Okay.
I have the space. I have we have the terrain. We have everything. We just need some local community member. And if you're listening,
hint local community to the what part of North Carolina are we talking about?
Just by the
just all of it, really.
Yeah, all of North Carolina. It's so close.
Any Marvel Crisis Protocol in North Carolina, get a hold of Kicker
or South Carolina or Georgia or Tennessee.
I'll give you his personal number. So you can
call him. Ask him to borrow a codex.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
You can borrow Codex. But seriously, guys, we would love to have Marvel Crushers Protocol. That's another game system that's just like it's taken off. I love it, and we want to have that at Cherokee. I don't actually have any idea how that format is done. I'm assuming it's just a standard, win loss kind of pairing system. But I we have the largest Marvel Crisis tournament ever at LVO. I think we have something like 120 players or something like that, 130
That
players.
is the biggest.
Yeah,
Well,
insane.
let me get to some of the hot burning chat questions.
Go for it. Go for it. Oh, I see you adding those to our notes. Yeah.
I did.
Oh.
The elephant in the room. Rob doesn't age. Compare old school pictures to now. Time has no hold on him. Is he immortal and eternal? A lizard
Wait,
person?
did you make that up?
No, that's
this
a
is
real
chat.
question from chat.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
Are you a lizard person? A lizard people? Is there something
They've had a long conversation about you potentially being some sort of slan on a palanquin being carried by skinks. I think you can blame KR Quinn and Wolf Freeze Carl for that.
What is your secret, Rob? How do you not age? Do you use a lot of moisturizer?
I could go into my daily skincare regimen, but I don't think anybody cares about any of that.
They also said that they're getting Teller from Penn and Teller vibes.
Oh.
Have you got that one before?
I have not gotten that one before, but I could see it.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right.
Hey, Seth, someone's asking, what are you drinking? What have you been drinking?
Yeah. My wife, on her way back from a wedding this weekend, stopped at a farmer's market and picked up Hank's Gourmet Diet Root Beer.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm drinking.
Fancy. I'm a root beer fanatic, man. I'm all about root beer. Nice. Speaking of Teller, I got to just say this because it is my job. I mean, I work full time for Frontline Gaming. Penn and Teller is at the Rio, so if you're going to the Las Vegas Open,
you mean Penn and Rob is at the Rio?
Teller that night in the hall. I know this because I'm trying to set up some discounted rates at the for show tickets and stuff for our attendees. That was actually what I was doing like an hour before this recording. So yeah, Penn and Teller is at the Rio. We got any other burning questions that we got to answer?
No, I mean, chat's just having a good time talking to themselves about Rob's skincare routine now.
Are you guys getting like a Zordon vibe? Because I'm like, am I big on the screen? Is that?
Like we're much smaller. That's the fun part. We went to an event and Kicker, Shelby, and I are all kind of scaled down to the same size here. And then we showed up to the event and everyone was like, "We thought you all were the same height."
Yeah.
No.
And our guest is always featured predominantly on the back.
You have a nice little border.
Yeah,
I'm so big. Look at this. I always wanted to be this big.
Yeah, I'm actually this tiny in real life. I am travel size. I am compact. And Seth,
he's my little buddy.
Yeah. He just puts me in the suitcase and rolls me around when we travel. Well, guys, thank you. Next week on Singles from the Frontline, Rob will be telling us how to take care of your skin and how to age.
We'll make sure to add a Rob skincare routine segment. Weekly.
And hopefully we'll have Stephen Box to talk about the endurance needs. Seth, you want to wrap us up and take us out of here?
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us this week. We really hope you enjoyed this episode of Signals from the Frontline. Have a great week, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Good night, guys.